This is Listening with Franklin Livingston, and our guest is Georgetta Buggs.
And that's where I think people should be wise. And when I said that we all are accountable to our wider society, wider community, that's what I mean. Because our actions, our habits, they impact others in a good way or a bad way.
Mm. Okay. What about friendships?
Friendships, same thing. We like to belong to a group.
Yeah. You think everyone wants to belong to it?
As a human being, yes.
Yeah.
As a human being, a human can never be by themselves.
Agreed. I always tell my friend that, but he disagrees.
And why? I'll tell you, because some people say, oh no, we are introverts.
Yeah.
We are extroverts.
Right.
Right. And I used to believe that when I was theoretical, when I learned about that in the academic settings. I don't know if I believe those two concepts in the same way. First of all, this concept is not that ancient. Secondly, so that means, does it mean humans changed? We have different interests. Some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like to watch because we learn differently. And some people like to text, some people like to call.
Right.
Things become popular within a group, like generational these days. Oh, this generation, you call them, it always goes to their voicemail.
Right.
But if a person from that generation at a job where they are supposed to have their phone on, they will make that change. Otherwise, they won't.
Right.
So that means they have the ability to. Same thing with an extrovert or introvert. Introvert people might claim, I draw my energy by being alone. I don't want to face people drain me. But what if they have some sort of fear? What if they have some sort of baggage, trauma, something within them that scares them of sort?
Like social anxiety?
Could be social anxiety, right? Some people have that.
Yeah.
So we have different names. Again, this all is not set in stone. When we use this term, social anxiety, trauma, or the other things, these are generalized terms. Humans are very unique and every individual is extremely different.
Yeah.
I was giving an example of Moses and Aaron. If it was that easy, God would have sent Aaron.
Right.
So why did he need Moses to do that job? Every human is so unique and complex. And we try. So that's the reason sometimes people would say, Excitrin works in me and not Tylenol, or because these medications are generalized idea. You're having headache, take this.
Yeah.
Nothing is customized. Same these psychotherapy related words or phrases. I think it comes in psychotherapy. I think so. Sorry about that. I'm saying it wrong. But this psychological terminology is also generalized. If you're feeling this, it's trauma. But the incidents we all go through are different in nature. They cannot be ever exact. Even, God forbid, when you say car accident, how, when, what time, what state the person was in, was she pregnant, was she not, was she on her periods, what not, how tall she was, all these things make a difference, which we can't address or don't address so far. So we go with the general idea, okay, shock, trauma, sad, loneliness, etc., etc. Now, humans are made to relate to each other. Humans are meant to be in communion with each other. They are relational beings. But if we have some sort of thing going on, it doesn't mean that we were created differently. This is our own understanding why someone is like that. And then what happens is that leads to another question of friendship.
Hmm.
Can an introvert and extrovert be friends?
Yes and no.
How?
So I think there's going to always be a disconnect and a frustration with that sort of friendship because one person always wants to go out and be social and the other person always wants to stay in. And that person may have excuses and the other person may get tired of their excuses.
Great. The same thing applies to a romantic relationship.
Hmm.
Two people coming from different choices
Yeah.
will struggle, what we talked about.
Hmm.
Friendship is the same way. That if your belief system, again, whom you call a friend, a person you're going to meet, like maybe I have a friend who has been in New York City for 8 years, and we might have ate together 20 times, maybe less.
And that's a friend? Like
That's
you would
a friend.
consider them?
Right. I think she says I'm her best friend.
Okay.
Why? Because I never actually reject her questions, or whenever she has something, I will always talk.
Mhm.
But it's mostly she asking and I'm answering.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So she uses that phrase, and I never say no. I never have gone in that. Does it? What defines friendship? Best friend? She thinks I'm best friend. Why? Because I'm always available for her.
Okay.
Right? But at a practical level, the time we spent might be 20 times eating together.
Hmm.
That's it. 8 years.
Wow.
If it's that kind of friendship,
Hmm.
you will most likely not have any problem.
Hmm.
Unless I develop expectation that she needs to have time to listen to me.
Yeah.
And if she has called me 100 times this year, I got to call her 100 times too, so we have equal friendship.
Hmm.
That's where the expectations come in. Then there will be a problem.
Mhm.
Or we haven't really played any video games, so we haven't gone to. We did watch movie. I think twice we watched 2 movies maybe in 8 years.
Hmm.
And if I say no, at least we should have had 10 movies or whatever. So when we do that kind of thing, then we get hurt by our friends.
Yeah.
But what kind of friendship we are talking about? I have friends. I have always had friends from different background of world religions,
Hmm.
but and very close too.
Hmm.
But then we had very interesting boundaries. Like I remember I had a friend who was he and I are not in communication anymore. He got busier, but when we used to hang out a lot,
Yeah.
especially the time when he didn't have a job, and I used to get off earlier. And in the evening, we used to hang out a lot. And he, from Muslim background, who does 5 time prayers. And there's a prayer at sunset and at night, and he would say, "I gotta pray." And I said, "Okay, I'm just gonna wait for you to go and pray." So there's that respect and boundary. It can work like that in
Mhm.
friendship. But you also have to be careful. Is it one-way traffic or two-way traffic? If it's one-way traffic, then one person has to be comfortable with that. You can't say, "I always give you time to do that. I need time. You don't give that to me." A conflict. So then you'll say, "I don't know if we should be friends."
But I think also it's good to compartmentalize people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, for instance, I kind of agree with that. Well, I do agree with that statement. Like I have someone and we're only kind of friendly on when it comes to like the arts.
Mm.
But does that mean that they're my friend? Maybe not necessarily, because outside of this, we don't really talk. We probably don't have much in common, obviously, because I don't know right now. We don't go out. So yeah. And another, like the whole extrovert and introvert thing, compartmentalize perhaps that friendship as well. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me, but um we can't be they can't be there for me the way I want them to be there for me, and it's all about like expectations and boundaries. This is how I want my friends to show up, as selfish as that sounds, and this is how you want your friends to show up, and those two may not meet in the middle. So would I necessarily say that's a friend? Probably not, but I'm not going to like cross them out or anything like that. So that's what I mean by compartmentalizing people. Is not everyone goes in the best friend box, the friend box, there's associates, there's coworkers, there's your theater buddies. So, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think like if you want to use the term friend, then it's
Hmm.
better to have that clear understanding that I'm not going to expect something of this nature from them or that nature. Here's an example. I was a few years ago, I was traveling abroad and I was in one of the countries and I lost my wallet.
Hmm.
And I called somebody here whom I knew, first of all, the person will be available for me. There are people you call and they will answer you after a few days,
God,
right?
yes. Hmm.
And they might be your best friend or
Hmm.
friend or whatever. And I called this person. I said, okay, I need 2 grand because I will be here for a few more days or 2 weeks and until I come back because I lost my wallet. It had my debit card and credit card, and the person didn't send me.
Hmm.
Now, that's whom I'd call a friend.
That's
You
a
know,
best friend, isn't it?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You know that idiom, a friend in need is friend indeed.
Indeed, yeah.
Because the thing is, you call someone and you don't hear back from them
Ever.
ever, or after a month or two, they say, "Oh, I was on a cruise."
Or the ones that you text like your issue to and they respond back with like an excuse like, oh, I'm sorry, my phone's
Yeah,
dead or blah blah blah, knowing that they looked at it and put the phone right back
right.
down.
It's like earlier I was saying, if I get home, say today at 6,
Hmm.
somebody calls me and says that I need this grocery. And if I am the person who would drink coffee, whatever I do, but I go pick up the groceries and go and deliver that to him or her, that's what I think a friend should be like.
Hmm.
I haven't done it. Thankfully, no one asked me.
Yeah.
This is just an example. But
They're gonna
if,
ask you after this.
yeah, after, hopefully not. So if somebody is calling me and I was like, oh God, I don't want to talk to this person. And I don't answer the call, listen to text, and I was like, I'll read it tomorrow. I should just like unwind.
Yeah.
Fancy term. I should sip a glass of wine, unwind, watch some TV, and after that, like shower and go to bed.
Hmm.
I don't think that's your friend.
Hmm.
And in this case, it doesn't matter a friend is of a different religion or the friend is of the same religion because, few, again, the principle. If your friend understands you are a human and they could be empathetic to you at the humanity level, why? Because what if you don't have, first of all, you don't have extra money or you don't have a way to order groceries, right?
Hmm.
If that person realizes that's being empathetic, he's your friend.
Hmm.
Even if the belief system is different,
Right.
because they still have same moral values,
Hmm.
that they are respecting your basic human right, they are enforcing your human dignity, they are there for you in the time of need,
Hmm.
and they won't let you go
Yeah.
and suffer.
Hmm.
They are your friend.
Hmm.
And it can be among people of different religions. We were really small, our house got burned down, and the first family that said, hey, you guys can come in, and said, I think it was winter, it's in December, we're a Muslim family. And they didn't care we were non-Muslims. We were not Muslims. And they didn't care that we were different. They probably offered us food and water, I forgot. And we even used their car. So that's the friendship.
Hmm.
Basically, that's being human. And should I say that no, it can't happen? No, it's wrong.
Hmm.
And as I said earlier, that even in a marriage or in a relationship, these things could work if people are learned enough, if they're educated enough, what it means to be a human, what it means to understand human dignity, what it means to understand human right, what it means to respect others. and respect their belief system, respect for who they are, right? And being empathetic. So
Yeah.
definitely, I think you can have friends from the
Different backgrounds and
different
religions.
backgrounds.
A
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that though. Just being human and having that empathy. It just goes out the window. Because me personally, I think people are selfish. They only look out for themselves and what you can do for them and not the other way around.
And no wonder then we have so many problems in our society
Mhm.
and overall in the world.
Yeah. I think it's all about building a community of people though. And relying on those people in different aspects and ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, that when you are with people, first of all, I think, for example, you're smart enough. You already know who's your friend and not,
Amen.
right?
I wasn't always like that though, but yeah.
Great.
Mhm.
You're doing great, girl.
Mhm.
And so if I were to ask somebody to deposit 2 grand in my bank, oh, sorry, they sent it to
Mhm.
Western Union, you got what you were saying tells you. Your discernment tells you whom to ask and whom not.
Mhm.
There might be a person who'll say, okay, I'll send it tomorrow, and then you might not hear from them at all. There are people like that too. So if you're in need, they might just finish that. Like, here's an example. I thought friends with someone because we went to the same singing teacher, and we were friendly. We also shared a meal several times and talked about our professions. And the person was telling me they remodeled their apartment, and because the person used to live by themselves on Third Avenue somewhere in Manhattan. I was making a short film, and I thought, oh, I should ask that person because we just need a scene. I texted that person that, oh, could we film that scene at your place? Now it's been, I don't know, 6 years, maybe 5 or 6 years. That person never, ever contacted me again.
What?
Yeah. So was that person my friend?
No.
That's your answer.
I wonder why they did that. But I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
No, I think you have the answer, like selfishness, not wanting to share anything. Because here's the thing, most likely the person thought, today I let them film, then he's going to ask for my car or something else.
Yeah.
Sharing is not easy.
No, it's not.
Giving is different.
Okay.
Sympathy versus empathy. Sharing my speech with someone. Some people don't let you drive their car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're so well. I have seen couples where a husband would not let his wife drive his car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's not easy. Like if you ask somebody, hey, you know, we need support for this group or whatever, they might feel like it's okay. If they were really wealthy, they might say, okay, take $100.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say, hey, can I use that chair for? And chair might not be off $100, but it's their chair.
Mm-hmm.
How come you have the audacity
Mm-hmm.
to ask me to sit on my chair?
Yeah.
Right. So why do we have this language like my country?
Yeah.
And my community, my city, my car, my businesses, my road, whatever. So my, and then sometimes it we, if there are like-minded people. Communities and friendship, I think, should be among diverse people.
Amen.
And when, say, you're friends with people from diverse economic class, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You grow differently. You have more empathy. I don't know what these days kids are watching, but a lot of the high school, junior high, that age range shows used to be like people of the same class because I mean, our school systems are that way. Who have money, they're going to go to the private schools, and then zip code, like I'm telling you, if you go left, it's all the wealth there.
Yeah.
And then you have public schools. It's just a sad reality, but it is. And I don't think the churches have done any better because when I was in Chicago, you have African American churches, and then you have churches which are 99.9% white. Should it be like that? No, but it is.
No.
And it's a sad reality. And I think it goes back to the same idea that a lot of us do not take serious our basic belief system. And we don't try to understand. We try to understand or take things that favor us or go in our favor. We benefit from it and makes us live a comfortable life, convenient life. And then we would argue or rationalize, as you mentioned. A lot of us would like to rationalize. But if you see the principle, the large principle of the Bible, using Christians as an example, it's love your God and love your neighbor. And who's your neighbor? Whoever's in need. Like when, there was a guy who was asking Jesus, who is my neighbor? And then when he tells this whole narrative of the Good Samaritan, the guy who was wounded and all that. So it was to remind him the guy in need, because he was helpless. And anyone could be helpless. I still remember once there was an event a long time ago. It was about there's a place where people do check-in or intake for shelters and food pantry and all. This was in the Midwest, long time, probably 10 years ago. And one of the young females who was giving this talk, she said, her mentors taught her, if somebody walks in with an iPhone, but iPhone was a big thing. I had iPhone 6, I think. Yeah. So don't think they have money. At that time in their life, what if their credit cards are maxed out? The phone they have is that keeps them in touch with their kids or family members, or they have some apps, they do something on it, but they don't have real money for food. Or because of an emergency, they don't have a place to check into a hotel. The card's not going to work. You got to focus on their need, not on the iPhone.
Right.
And they are helpless. Those are our neighbors. And that's what Jesus was talking about, this guy who was robbed and then left helpless on the road. So it's just the understanding, developing that understanding, keeping the mind open to live by the principle. What do these texts teach us? What's the principle behind these? And how can we follow that and live that out? Because by doing that, we are helping ourselves and strengthening our relationship with our God, and then He blesses us, having no expectations from our friends or people in need or our spouse or our family.
Yeah, but still, that's still something I kind of struggle with a little bit.
We will always, as humans, right?
You don't seem to struggle with it, though.
No, I don't seem to. Doesn't mean I don't.
Okay, fair.
Maybe I have become chiller.
Okay.
Is it a term, chiller? No, I try to remain chilled, and it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I've developed different kind of emotions, but I try. I'm trying. I'm still work in progress.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that the more I have learned to spend time focusing on my call and why I am in this world, and the privilege I have, a lot of people don't have, and it's not because I did something good. No. I don't deserve for the blessings and grace I have. That makes me just keep my focus aligned with God's call, and that makes me remain focused on the things I'm doing and being faithful to it. I try to be faithful to it, and then I try. Like, for example, you asked me what time I got up today, and I said I wake up at 6 the days we are filming. But when we are not, say I'm not doing anything, I'm going to probably wake up at 11. So even making these changes, that's something makes me stronger. That makes me have more belief and have faith in the one who's called me to do this.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm better than you.
Right.
I come across like that.
And now you found your happiness, or like do you feel like because you're pursuing your purpose and your passion that you are kind of happy, like inside?
Yeah, I think my happiness is the same way like my passion. You asked like my
Yeah.
passion, what am I passionate about? So my happiness is not really that difficult. Sometimes I could have a good cup of coffee and that
And that's
makes me
happiness.
happy.
Yeah.
Right? But I think I feel more happy when I feel I'm accomplished. And I don't have that overarching goal in life as we talked about, or I forgot we were talking about at lunch or where. For example, if somebody says, I just want to be an actor. They want to be an actor, but why? I've asked this question to many people. They don't know the answer because some of them will be, oh, my grandma said, you're really pretty, you should become an actress. Great. But then you are just becoming an actor to showcase yourself, right? And I think it's superficial. I think it's shallow. Is it wrong? No. I mean, a lot of people probably do that. Or some people will say, I'm really talented. What does that mean? I can cry. Seriously. Yeah. Or I can sing. I wanted to do acting to tell stories, and especially the stories where I could represent a community or a group of people.
Right.
Right. And it wasn't to showcase myself. I can do that in other ways too. Same thing comes with my happiness. So that's an accomplishment for me if I could do something and make it happen. Now, as I think I talked to you about some people I know, they started maybe 10 years ago, went through 100 auditions and get depressed because in the past 10 years they might have gone they might have done one commercial and might have been in a couple of short films. But if it was just because I'm so talented, for some people, I've also learned talent means that I can do wild scenes. For some people, it's, as I said, crying. Some people, it's like changing voices. Different people are different. And usually, what I hear is it's about them. And I learned that when, even in the other job, secular non-acting, I mean non-acting jobs, when you interview people, they would say, I am really good at this. It's about them. I would rarely hear about how do they connect their skill set with the community. And that's not a norm, maybe, you know? Somebody's got to challenge it. Yeah. I usually challenge it. So for me, the accomplishment means that if you feel led to do something, you did something, and you think it's fruitful because you changed lives.
Yes.
You made a difference. It doesn't matter, was it one person or it was 100 people? Or, and here's the thing actually with this our profession. A lot of people, then they're depressed. I made a movie and, you know, I was thinking it's going to go on streaming service. Millions will be people will watch it. Why? Because this is what I hear. Millions of people did not see them or their work. So why are you after that? In my mind, again, it's a selfish, using your language, it's a selfish approach because you are expecting validation, recognition for millions of people about something you did. Whereas I go in with a mindset, say I made a film, 10 people watch it. One person's life got touched. And you healed him, your phrase, or you taught him. I think that's enough.
I
because
do too.
that was your call. So that's the thing. Like a lot of us want a call or something they do, they would call it an accomplishment unless you make some sort of rocket or you have an Oscar or you own a TV channel. But that's not everyone's call, as what we were saying earlier. Only God knows what your call is. But if you set yourself up uh, to do something that's not in alignment with your call, you are setting yourself up to be miserable, to be a failure, to be anxious, to be depressed, to be lonely, and to be just a piece of destruction.
Mm.
One of the guys, actually, the guy who was texting without telling his name,
Yeah.
He's editing the film we filmed together, and we got into the story a little bit. And I think if I read correctly, one of his texts was, uh, he said, I don't know about anyone else, but this film helped me personally, period. I don't know how. That's not my, unless he opens up. I don't think, because we don't have that kind of relationship. We never hung out.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. My call or film's call might be to touch one person. And one person, the power of one person, if you want to know, for me, the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul, who was a terrorist, the term we use these days, and which is a very scary term, but he used to kill people who used to follow Christianity, right? The guy got converted while going to Damascus, and he saw Christ, spoke with him, that he became Christ follower. He also held on to Judaism with his tradition and set up these church communities in Corinth and Ephesus and Galatia and Thessalonica. That's one person who actually gave all of us the blueprint of how a church community is or look like. No matter where I went in the world, I didn't go to like the whole world, few countries, but those countries, even the countries that were very densely Buddhist or other religions, I saw a church or two, if not anything, a Catholic convent with the sign of cross. That all started with one guy. That's the power of a guy or a woman. If you were called to touch one person, you just should be thankful. Do your job faithfully, and that's it. Some people uh, don't really accept it. They say, "Oh my God, I'm going to sing for one person.
Yeah.
Why isn't the whole theater full of people? No one appreciates me. No one likes me. It's not about you. It's about inner you, which does not require that kind of validation, recognition, and that kind of award and that kind of celebration. That'll make you happy for a time being. But then what's going to happen later, and
you're going to want more and more.
Yeah, and that's very difficult. You can be Miss World today, this year, but will you be Miss World next year?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen to the Miss World after 10 years?
Right.
And a lot of people I also know. Actually, once I knew somebody who was like, "Yeah, I want to join your team. I want to work for you." It was a Miss, I don't know which Miss was she. But what happens is these people, as I mentioned earlier, I've seen them later down the road, 5 years or 10 years, becoming different. Why? Because they don't let go that was a phase. And I did that. Let go.
Right.
Was it right or wrong? Let go. Let it go. And embrace the reality, embrace the present, and look for a better future. And better means healthier.
Yes. I think that's you talked about storytelling and how it can change at least one person. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love doing it, is to especially when I write my own material, is for other people to see their story play out and think to themselves, okay, I'm not alone. Um, I'm heard and I'm seen, especially in like marginalized groups. I feel as though our stories aren't, our stories are very one dimensional. You know what I mean? And when we see it outside of the norm, we can relate to it more. And one person who I can really relate to is, have you seen the series on YouTube called Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae? Okay, very good
I'll
series.
watch it now.
And it just kind of, it's just her in her office and like her inner thoughts, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not the only person that thinks like that. You know what I mean? And that just kind of went on to blow up and become insecure. But yeah, it's always about at least reaching one. Like that's my goal, even if it's just my mother. You know, like it's just
Yeah.
about, oh, you see, like you saw yourself in it, like, you know, you can relate to this, and that's a good way of healing. Is recognition and seeing that you're not alone, and being able to relate to the characters and have your favorite character and kind of like build on that. But yeah, but the whole validation thing, I see where you're going with it, because unfortunately, we in the industry, we meet a lot of people who just want to be validated. And you know, I guess in a sense I do too, but it's not like my calling is like, okay, I'm doing this so I can be validated and I can do that and do this.
That's not the only thing you have to, without knowing why are you doing something.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. How long have you been in the industry?
My ever first short film in 2017.
What got you? Were you scared to do it at first, or
Nah.
you just were ready to?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't get scared by a lot of things.
Okay.
You mean nervous and all? Nah, I was not. And I think that was the first short film. I'm trying to see. Before that, I might have done a lot of other itty things, but like a short film that we submitted to festivals was in 2017.
And you directed it?
No, no. I had no interest in directing. I always wanted to focus on acting.
Okay.
I knew a young female. She directed it. Someone else wrote it. And she directed three short films. And the fourth short film we wanted to make, we ran into a conflict. So it was written from a male's perspective. A male who was alone, elderly, and he was alone because he had bad experiences with his wife and younger daughter. And the story was that the man actually closed himself off to other people. But you know, we were talking about this early on, that you never know why is someone an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, the title was Recluse.
Mm-hmm.
He was just by himself, and he didn't like anyone else. And what happens is an ethnic family comes and becomes his neighbors. I think the short film started with a mother and a couple of kids talking in Spanish because they get to school, and the idea was that he gets very so his car is broken. This woman Latina, helps him, and he tries to say, no, I don't need any help. And he's not nice, but still he says, oh, you know, I was an electrical or mechanical engineer, I can fix your car. She fixes it, and then she brings some food over. So he's a little confused that why is she a bit different, overly friendly and helpful and all that, whereas two women who were really close or in his life were very different. And there's a line, for example, the wife says to the daughter is just like dating around, and he's saying maybe that's not wise, and mother is saying, yeah, that's okay, like your father like is not a George Clooney or something like that, and you know, so that was when By then we were friends. This director, she read the script and she said, "No, I'm not going to direct it because you think women are the problem." I was like, in this particular instance,
Right.
and sometimes that becomes an issue where my friends who are feminists, they go extreme and they think every man is bad, right? So she said, "I'm not going to direct it," and the problem was that it was a mini short, but a lot of people. We had 20 extras, and a guy came from New Jersey with his cop uniform, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna direct it. I don't want to cancel it now, right? And I directed it. That was my first experience telling others what to do. It wasn't like telling them, but then I became more. Yeah, so then we didn't do anything. Maybe I directed another short after that, and then I moved here. There was lockdown, and I thought we should do sketches, mini comedy. Somebody else directed, and then I thought I'm gonna make a bit longer, but I'm gonna direct it because then I have control to set the tone and maybe change the trend. So then I was like, okay, until I find somebody I could trust who understands uh, the way I want certain things to look a little different, and the acting and all, I'm going to direct myself. So that's the way it and just went in that direction.
And you've been satisfied with the results?
Yeah, I think with my understanding, I became very particular. Even to the point like where one should breathe or not, or the chin line and all that. It was just by doing more. I think I became, is your diaphragm active or not? And should you add a physical action or not? If you add a physical action in a scene, or the spatial awareness when it comes to the camera and lighting, or how the light is motivated. I didn't go to a formal school, it was just like self learning. And we played with like the first movie Connery filmed with me. So we played with haze and sunbeams. That what if you were in a place where it's morning light with fog? And how does sun. And I studied in a way, for example, this morning I was doing the same thing. In the morning, if you see the sunlight, it hits different places differently. So just like getting that idea and playing with the light. So that was very interesting. And then the other one, the one I was talking to you about, that doesn't have that kind of lighting, but that's very simplistic. That's very simple. So I actually focused on the simplicity. My hope was that the characters, I tried to go with very like non-conservative conservatory trained actors. So it looked so it could look more realistic in a way, and same for the locations, where it looks less staged.
So what, conservatory actors are like too theatrical, or?
No, theatrical is great. It's
Okay.
just like because we are so we know how to do certain things which are, for example, if somebody is, as an example, filming here, right? So we know what not to hit, so it might create problem with the sound.
Okay.
These kind of things we are aware of.
Yeah.
Or keep looking at, always acting teachers would tell us, keep looking at your scene partner.
Right.
Right. But in the real world, we can't look. We live in a, I mean, it's rude. Why are you staring at me? This is the example. So when you work with people, or the pacing, I did a little bit coach them to time it out so it's not like. But when you go to a barista and she's gonna, what can I get you? Do you want some? So they have a different band. Now, when it comes to the actors, we're gonna do warm up. We'll be careful about our diction and our enunciation. So that's a performance, right? So let's see how it looks. This is an experiment. I wanted like, okay, every person could relate to this because it's a very common subject,
Right.
and let's see.
Yeah, I'm kind of I've done two things that I've written and directed, and one was with my mother because an actor I don't think she was that interested in doing it, but she said that it was like the time commitment was just she was unavailable, and so I hired a cameraman, and we filmed it in this place that I used to intern. And that was just that. And that was kind of like my first taste of like what it feels like to kind of direct and kind of coach her. And she was all nervous saying, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to memorize the lines." I said, "Well, we're going to have to just do it every day. Like, this is what actors do." And the second one was my web series that I filmed in 2020. 3 episodes called Senior Living. And yeah, I had some help with that, with the DP and the editor. The actors were all really, really great. A lot of them were referrals, some of them were auditioning, but just kind of like being behind the scenes and seeing different auditions. Because, we always hear about choices with casting directors. Like, what choice can you make that's going to help you stand out?
Right.
And when I was watching a lot of the tapes, there was a lot of similarities. And then the chosen actors that I did decide to move forward with, they were the ones that made like just very like distinctive or like little bitty like choices. I was like, "Ooh, I never thought of that," or "I didn't write it like this, but I'm glad that they did it like this." But it's just directing, producing, is wearing all those hats is exhausting.
It is not easy, yeah.
But it's fun.
It is fun, but I think what a challenge, like my biggest challenge was, especially during the series.
Yeah.
I noticed first thing, and I saw a couple of episodes actually, which we filmed, I don't know, 3 years ago. And they got delayed in editing and all that. And by now I've forgotten everything. So the guy was showing me, and I was like, okay. Now I recall, I always tell the characters to add a physical action to your emotional action, right? So emotional state or action or objective you're playing, which is great. But when you add some physical element to it, it just enriches it. But it's not that common in our culture. When two people are talking, it's just like not there. So asking them to do, it's more theatrical. But when you're not used to, it's easy. Or when it's not the norm, especially if you make short films or in generally speaking indie type projects, you don't see those things happening. So I would sense some sort of question or what is the thing when you will do it but you don't want to do it, but because you were a cast member.
Yeah.
So, and then some people were actually running to this talk, debate, more like rationalizing, like you said, like we have a culture of arguing and rationalizing. So it's not easy, and especially when it's the dynamics are male and female, and me telling them. And there, I think I've also learned that for some people, it's hard to take directions from a straight male. For some people, it's hard to take directions from a straight male who also happens to be a person of color.
Hello.
And I learned these things while doing that. We did, I forgot, like 8 seasons or what. There might be 90 or 100 episodes. So that was a lot of learning about myself in terms of a member of the community.
How did you feel with that? Like, did you recognize it at first, or it took you like what was that process like? If that makes sense.
Recognize, I think, at different occasions.
Okay.
As an example, if I had someone, I asked somebody to give me a W9 versus there was a time when someone else was directing a female Caucasian and she asked the same question. So how quickly the response came, or so those things like was very clear. I never mentioned that to those people.
Yeah.
But I think I understood. Okay, that's the right thing to do. Asking her to do that instead of me. But with the directing, I think the problem is that I had to do it myself. And I had to swallow that pill, not focusing on what is the talent here, focusing on what's needed for the story. And having this mindset that worse comes to worse, the person will leave the project. Then you refilm it. But I think it is different. It's definitely different. I have noticed this with DPs. Uh, if you have a DP who is, especially when the let's say I had a DP in early 40s, I guess, Caucasian, went to NYU. So the staff, not staff, talent attitude toward him was different than, say, who is a person of color and maybe a bit younger. So, yeah, these things are real. And I don't know if everybody understands that we relate to people differently because not everyone is aware of themselves. That's why what I said earlier was that when you're aware of yourself, you are already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But these things are very real. And among those people who claim to be open and welcoming and very supportive community, artist community, but no, a lot of us don't even know who we are.
Yeah, we don't.
It's very sad.
It is. And I think you said something maybe like a few topics ago about if a person came at you a certain way, you wouldn't take it to heart because you know who you are. You know you're not this, you know you're not that. And I feel like for one, coming from a good community and coming from a good family background and having them instill some sort of confidence in yourself plays a lot into, you know, not taking things so personally. And
Yeah, and if somebody is not coming from, say, an affluent background,
yeah,
or does not have a lot of social skills, or already struggles with social anxiety, maintaining a good confidence, I think that person could suffer a lot more than the one who doesn't have all these things going on. And it's like a really a nightmare for them. And a lot of people live with that nightmare and deal with those kind of situations on daily basis. Once in a while, I think there was a instance I saw on social media, a young female hating a cab driver, an Uber driver, and her friend is telling why, and she's like, "I don't like him."
Yeah.
It wasn't, and thankfully the camera was recording, and I think the only difference was the racial difference.
Yeah.
People still do that.
Yeah.
Some do it unknowingly, and which is not physical, but I know you use this word energy.
Yeah.
But their energy exhibits it.
Right.
They express it through their eyes or their body language. I don't think they know it.
Yeah, you got to be in tune with stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful because wisdom, again, going back to wisdom, it's, I don't know if I mentioned here or somewhere that I knew a young female in New York, and she once was very happy and shared with me that she found the guy she's going to make babies with. And she was like, this guy came into the bar, and as soon as he walked up to me, kissed me, blah, 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 and all that. And I was like, do you know his full name? And no. But you know, I know he's going to come back. I know we are meant to be together. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. So she liked him walking up to her and kissing her.
Okay.
Fast forward, she's telling me, yeah, we're going to go to the police station to complain about a guy because just he, without asking, kissed my friend or something happened on those lines. Now, here's the difference, the way I understand.
Okay.
Sometimes, I don't know the full story, but sometimes I've seen if a particular person finds themselves attracted to someone, they would let anything happen to them.
Yeah.
But if that attraction is not there, because then we have these standards of attraction, as I mentioned, standards of beauty. it can really go wrong, because then you'll say, I got harassed, I got assaulted, I got taken advantage of. So we unfortunately live with the world, uh, in the world, which is subjective, as you mentioned about friendship. And whether you have friendships, whether you have social relationships, whether you have professional relationships, I think it's very important to be wise. And wisdom is something one should always keep in mind while making all sorts of choices. Whether you are living out your faith, whether you are in friendship and doing something for the friends or doing something for your community, and especially if you are from a particular group that has been marginalized somehow or the other, then I think you have more risks. And then it's better for you to be in more contemplated state yourself, and being still, being reflective, being meditative, and being closer to God, and trying not to copy the pop culture or cool kids, because they might be from a privileged class, they might be from a different racial background, ethnic group, and they might have a different kind of treatment from the people in power.
Very well said.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Maybe we'll talk more.
For sure.
On another day.
Yes.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.